Welcome to the lesson, What are some physical properties? In this lesson, we're going to look at how matter can be identified by its properties. The vocabulary words for this lesson are matter, physical property, mass, temperature, and volume. Click each word to learn more about it. Look at these objects. They have similarities and differences. Use some of their qualities to put them into the box. Drag the images to the correct locations. That's right. You were able to sort the objects by looking at some of their physical properties: shape, color, size, and hardness. These properties are easy to see. There are other physical properties that you can't determine just by looking. Continue on to learn about some of them. All those objects you just looked at are made up of matter because they all take up space. When you sorted the objects, you used their physical properties. You can observe or measure physical properties without changing the matter. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. It is a physical property that can be measured. You use a balance to measure mass. Click an image to find out more. A computer is made of matter, so it has mass. The mass of this computer is 10 kilograms. The glass of this beaker is matter, and so is the liquid inside the beaker. The mass of everything together is 400 grams. The mass of this volleyball tells us how much matter it has. The mass of the volleyball is 600 grams. How much matter is in this toy car? Let's look at the mass. The mass is 1 kilogram. Think about a cup of water. That water takes up space, so it is matter. But how much space does it take up? You can measure this amount of space, and you'd call it volume. Click each cylinder to learn more. If you pour the water into a graduated cylinder, you can measure the volume. The volume here is 80 cubic centimeters, or cc. How much space does this liquid take up? 210 milliliters. You can also measure the volume of solid matter. There's 140 cc's of water in this cylinder. What happens after we drop in the stone? Now you can see that the level of the water has risen to 165 milliliters. So the water level went up by 25 milliliters. The volume of small, solid objects is given in cubic centimeters. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. This means that the volume of the stone is 25 cubic centimeters. To find the volume of an object with rectangular or square sides, you could just measure the object's length, width, and height, and then multiply these numbers together. Temperature is another physical property. You probably describe temperature without even knowing it. When you say a bowl of soup is hot, you're describing its temperature, or how much heat energy it has. If you put a thermometer in the soup, you could actually measure its temperature. Let's look at some temperatures. Click a picture to discover more. It's warm outside. It's 28 degrees Celsius, or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Things can get really hot when you're cooking. Be careful, the temperature here is 225 degrees Celsius, which is 437 degrees Fahrenheit. Brr, ice is freezing. 0 degrees Celsius to be exact. This is equivalent to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Not too hot or cold. This water is 23 degrees Celsius, or about 73 degrees Fahrenheit. When you say you have a fever, you're talking about your body's temperature. This child's temperature is 38 degrees Celsius, or 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Look at these two containers. They each contain water. What can you tell about the mass of the water in each container? Click your answer. That's right. Mass describes the amount of matter in an object. Volume is the amount of space matter takes up. Both containers hold the same type of matter, water. Therefore, if the volume is equal, then the masses are equal. You've learned that temperature is a physical property. Now, see if you can sort these objects based on how hot or cold they are. Drag your answer to the correct location. Great job! You used clues in the pictures to know which things are hot and which are cold. You've learned a lot about physical properties. Before we finish, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. Matter has mass and takes up space. Matter can be described using observable properties, such as size, shape, color, texture, and hardness. All matter has mass. You use a balance to measure mass. All matter has volume. You use beakers, graduated cylinders, and other similar tools to measure the volume of liquids and small solid objects with irregular shapes. You measure and multiply to find the volume of a regular solid. You use a thermometer to measure the temperature of matter in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. Now that you've finished this lesson, click the menu button to exit. Or if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.